right, so hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today in our webinar where we will explore SAP S/4HANA Cloud Enablement and with the presenter Vivaldo Ferreira from the SAP Global Portfolio team. Now, my name's Annette Carlson, and I'm with the Global SAP Knowledge and Enablement team as the APJ Head of Education. I will start the session today with some quick housekeeping items, followed by me handing over to Vivaldo. Now, you might be aware that each month we are offering a webinar on the next generation topics on how our customers can maximize their SAP Learning Hub subscription with tailored learning journeys, self-paced learning content, and access to the right SAP learning rooms, both to connect with their peers and learn live in real time. Now, in today's 30-minute session, we will first run through the presentation, which will be done by Vivaldo, and if we have time, we will follow this by a question and answer session. During the session, do feel free to ask questions in the chat box. Now, I don't expect you to wait until the end, so if you have a question during the session, just type it in the chat box in the bottom left corner. If we don't have time to follow them up today, we will send out answers to them in the following communication after the call. We are recording today's session, just making you all aware, and we will also share that recording with you after the call. So with that, I would like to hand over to our speaker, Vivaldo Ferreira. Vivaldo is the product knowledge owner for SAP S/4HANA Cloud and also the SAP user experience. We are very lucky to have him on the call as it is in the middle of the night for him. So thank you, Vivaldo. I'll hand over to you, let you introduce yourself, and I will come back at the end of the call for questions and also to close the call.
Thank you, Annette. Good day, everyone. As Annette said, I am the product knowledge owner for S/4HANA Cloud as well as all things user experience at SAP from an enablement perspective. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to show you what enablement offerings we have for S/4HANA Cloud, as well as our strategy for digital only consumption of content and your learning experiences. So with that, I'm going to focus in three main areas. The digital transformation, what does that mean for S/4HANA Cloud? How do you consume your content? How do you engage with other experts, both internally and externally, and peers and colleagues as well through the SAP Learning Hub and the Learning Room? I'm going to talk a little bit about a concept called live session, which is basically made up of smaller micro-learning deliveries of content by product experts. And we had, last year, we had delivered over 250 of those. They're 1 to 2 hour sessions across different topics and so forth. And then I'm going to go into learning journeys, show you how to find the S/4HANA Cloud Implementation Learning Room in the Learning Hub, and then how to find the learning journeys that are appropriate to your needs and so forth. So on the first topic, everything that we are developing for S/4HANA Cloud is being digitally consumed. We have embedded learning in the product itself, as well as task tutorials for the key user, customer project teams to consume in the Learning Hub. We have over 600, between 600 and 700 task tutorials already developed and available to you. We also have the task tutorials embedded in what we call My Learning application and so forth. In the Learning Hub itself, we have foundations content to get you started with SAP Activate in what it means for S/4HANA Cloud implementations, as well as currently five other LOB content areas: manufacturing, procurement, finance, and a few others. Um, the end goal here is certification. Just this year in January, last month, we introduced a concept called social media badges. Those are sort of badges that you can use to inform others of your credentials with S/4HANA Cloud, as well as other SAP technology areas and offerings. So typically, when you take classes or training at SAP, you either engage in OpenSAP, which is our MOOC, and it's completely free, no charge, and so forth. Or you buy a subscription to the Learning Hub and you start consuming content in self-paced mode and joining learning rooms and so forth. Or you go to a class. Well, with S/4HANA Cloud, we are primarily and almost exclusively offering digital learning. That means OpenSAP and Learning Hub. It doesn't mean that you won't, like I said earlier, it doesn't mean that you don't have access to experts like trainers and so forth. What we're doing is converting that delivery methodology into what we're calling live sessions. It's one of the assets within the Learning Hub, Learning Room. I'm going to show you a little demonstration on demonstration of the learning journeys as well as the Learning Room later on during this presentation. So most of you already are familiar with the Learning Hub. The Learning Hub is centralized around the concept of learning journeys, which are visual representations and guides to your journey in self and in enablement. So it's a very beautifully rendered visual representation of what you need to do in order to get certified and stay current once you are certified. And at the end of this presentation, I will do a short demonstration of how to find your learning journey specifically for S/4HANA Cloud. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water. So I talked a little bit about learning rooms and live sessions, which I'll demonstrate later, and then live access is your access to actual systems based on purchase of contingents. I think we all know what OpenSAP is. It's unrestricted access. Currently, we have 4 OpenSAP courses that are specifically geared towards S/4HANA Cloud. One of the second latest course was how to best leverage your S/4HANA Cloud for your company. Oops, looks like my presentation is loading. Okay, sorry about that. We started with a course called HR and Finance with SAP S/4HANA Cloud. It's an integration course with success factors, and then implementing S/4HANA on-prem as well as cloud. The latest one that came out in Q4 of last year was extending S/4HANA Cloud and S/4HANA on-prem. This is basically talking about extensibility, extension points with Fiori applications and so forth, and analytics. We are planning in Q2 and 3 of this year to add 4 OpenSAP courses on Leonardo integration, as well as the S/4HANA Cloud SDK, native integration topics like Ariba and S/4HANA Cloud integration, SuccessFactors integrations, and so forth, and then finally 2-tier ERP, S/4HANA Cloud 2-tier ERP. I'm going to pause just for a second. Any questions in the chat? Nope. Okay.
Can I just check with you, Vivaldo, that you are talking to slide 6?
I was just talking through slide 6, and
yep,
you're right. There was a little delay.
No, it's good. It's up.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm on slide 7. If you're new to the Learning Hub, There are two options for S/4HANA Cloud enablement. There is the Professional Edition, which is full access to all content, not just S/4HANA Cloud. And we just introduced last month the Solution Editions. Well, we have a Solution Edition specifically for S/4HANA Cloud, and that is inclusive of all S/4HANA Cloud learning rooms, e-learnings, handbooks, the stay current content, and because you would have access to the learning rooms, you have access to all the live sessions and also stay current webinars. With that addition comes 10 hours of live access inclusive. It's but it's specific to S/4HANA Cloud, so you don't get you would not get Leonardo or ERP Finance or anything like that. It's a solution-based edition. Okay, let's talk a little more about what offerings we have for S/4HANA Cloud end-to-end. As you probably know, we have quarterly releases. All of our content is updated quarterly. We have core content, we have stay current content, what we used to call early knowledge transfer, where we're calling it stay current to support a program called Stay Current, where you can stay current with your certification credential quarter over quarter. So we have 4 releases this year. We're on release 1802, and in May 7th to be exact, we will be upgrading and updating all of our content and systems to 1805. This is just standard process with S/4HANA Cloud, and what that means is you'll always be fresh and updated with your enablement within the SAP Learning Hub and learning rooms and live sessions. The other two quarter releases are 1808 in August and 1811 in November. Now, in a nutshell, what do we have for you? We have 9 learning journeys centered around S/4HANA Cloud. The best way to get to your learning journeys is through the Learning Hub, and there's the left navigation, the drop-down, and just select Learning Journeys. And then in the filter, just type S/4HANA Cloud. You will see all the journeys related to S/4HANA Cloud. We have key and end user enablement tutorials for the key user. The key user is basically the customer project team members who need to work very closely with partners as well as SAP consulting in implementing and S/4HANA Cloud in their organization. We have 600 to 700 guided tours, getting started tutorials as well as task tutorials, and all of them reside in the Learning Hub as well. Everything, all digital content, live sessions are part of your Learning Hub subscription. The core IT professional content, we have 5 LOB modular pools. Everything is modularized. That means you can pick and choose the modules that best meet your needs, your training needs. The modules are centered around generic topics like organizational units and so forth that are cross topics regardless of LOB or industry in S/4HANA Cloud. And they're also organized around scope items. So if you're dealing with a finance scope item specifically for financial accounting, let's say, you can go right into that modular pool of content, pull out that scope item enablement, and consume that in the Learning Hub. Very, very granular, very flexible. The Learning Room live sessions are also very, very granular and topical based around LOBs and so forth. I'll give you a sampling. I'll show you a sampling of like this month, February, and the different live sessions we have going on as we speak. And then there's certification. We have 6 certification exams available for S/4HANA Cloud. We have the Foundations, which is a prerequisite exam, and 5 LOB exams, procurement, finance, sales, manufacturing, and professional services. So you do have to take the prerequisite exam, which is Foundations. It's only a 40 item exam, even though it is an associate level exam, but it's only 40 items as a prereq. And then the LOB exams, the follow-up exams, are 80 items. This is just, I just want to show you the concept of live sessions. Now, the best way to leverage your live session experience and your interaction with experts in the 2 hours that you have in the Learning Hub environment or platform is to prepare for the live sessions, right? So if we're doing a cluster of live sessions for procurement, we do have a modular pool of content for procurement, S/4HANA Cloud from a procurement perspective. The best thing is to prepare for that. Yes?
Vivaldo. Yeah, no, it's me taking a breath here. I'm not sure if we're following the slides. They seem to be jumping around a lot, like we're on slide 19 now. I think it has a life of its own.
Oh, I'm on slide 11.
Oh, we've seen them all. So do you want to go back, or do you want me to present slide 11?
Could you, maybe you better present, because I'm seeing slide 11. 11 of 19. Okay. That's kind of odd.
Okay. Let me get my slides up. If you bear with me.
And while we're waiting, Vivaldo, there's one question from Kumari Mukta in the chat box. Appreciate if you could elaborate a little more about Stay Current, how to enroll for this program. Can we do from Learning Hub or Open SAP?
Okay. Yeah, let me answer that. Stay Current is you automatically enter into Stay Current. We're launching the program in September, right, of this year. And once you satisfy the foundations prerequisite exam and then you take one of the LOB exams, you automatically fall into the Stay Current program as a certified professional, right? What that means is that you would consume the Stay Current enablement content in the Learning Hub, and then you would take a 10 to 15 question assessment in the Learning Hub. When you pass the assessment, your badge is updated to the most current release of the product, right? Let's just say 1805, right? Or it's launching in September, so let's just say 1811, right? When you take the when you consume the enablement content and then you take the assessment, your badge automatically gets updated to or upgraded to 1811. It's that easy. Now, if you don't want to partake in Stay Current, you basically don't stay current. You don't take the enablement and you don't keep up. But what that means is that your exam will expire within 12 months, your certification. Does that help? Okay.
Thank you, Vivaldo.
Yeah.
Now, I've kept mine in, internal here. I haven't got it in presentation mode because I think it moves. Okay?
Oh, okay, okay.
So I've got it like this. I hope that's all right.
Yeah, that should be all right. And it's showing 11, right?
Yep. Okay.
I'm gonna move on to the next one. This is the Stay Current program, as I was just describing. You basically start with the you get certified. There is a prerequisite exam. If you look at the gray box there, the foundations prerequisite exam has to be taken first, and then one of the core. The core is either procurement, professional services, finance, manufacturing, sales, and distribution. We will have a new exam in next quarter for enterprise asset management. So once you take the core, you fall automatically into Stay Current by consuming enablement and then taking an assessment. Once you pass the assessment, your badge gets updated. You get your badge with the core exam, right? If you take the core exam at 1805, let's say, and then 1811 comes around, and you've been staying current with 1808 in August and then 1811 in November, your badge gets updated once we launch the Stay Current program. I hope that makes sense. There's nothing that you need to do. Just get certified and then start consuming content, and we'll take care of the rest. These are the badges. Badges are very, the concept is very simple. It's a way for you to update your credential and also
Remember, Vivaldo, you need to tell me which slide you're on.
Oh, I'm on 13.
Okay, to stay current, certification and stay current.
No, the first slide with the badges. This is kind of
okay,
odd.
14. I'm on it now.
Okay, I'm showing 13 in my deck. Okay, so basically badges are a means by which you can share your credentials in social media, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter, what have you. It's basically a badge that you can show all your colleagues and peers, and that badge, it gets automatically updated. So if you're showing your badge in LinkedIn in your profile and you become current, you do the assessment and you are current, your badge will automatically be updated to the most current release. Okay, next slide. Okay, cool. We are phasing the badges. We're starting with over 77 badges around the key cloud innovations like S/4HANA Cloud, Ariba, Hybris, and SuccessFactors. We are also introducing Open SAP badges, right? To show your what do they call it? Record of achievement credential with Open SAP courses. So keep a lookout. It was launched last month, and you do have to opt in for badges. So keep a lookout for any notification of a badge, and then you do have to opt in. Next slide, please. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but basically how it works, you do receive an email once you become certified. You receive an email with your badge, and then you opt in, and then you start sharing your badge throughout social media. Once certification as a program launches in September, you complete your assessment, you pass your assessment, your badge gets automatically updated. It's really that simple. Next slide, please. All right, next I'm going to talk a little bit about learning journeys, but I'm going to do a demonstration on inside the Learning Hub. So let's stop here in interest of time. Annette, I'm going to share my desktop so that I can get into the Learning Hub.
Yep.
Okay, I'm actually logging in right now before I share. Okay. Seems to be a little bit of a delay. Okay, let me know if you can see my desktop, Annette.
Not yet. Oh, it's coming up now. Yep.
Okay. Okay, great. What you see in front of you is the Implementation Learning Room, S/4HANA Cloud Implementation Learning Room. There is an S/4HANA overview learning room, and which is shared by S/4HANA On-Prem and Cloud. And this learning room, Implementation Learning Room, is specific to S/4HANA Cloud. I highly recommend, if you're not already a member of this room, to become a member of this room because this is where your live sessions live. Let me take you to the calendar of events first. It will automatically launch the February calendar. Each one of these blocks or each one of these titles represents a live session. As you can see, there are quite a few of them going on this month, and also, next month we have many live sessions going on. They're organized around topical areas like foundations, and typically the enablement for S/4HANA Cloud is run in clusters, 5-day clusters in general. Right, we do have special topics like extensibility, which are 2-day clusters, but and integration topics, which are also 2-day clusters. What you would do is you would open up one of these events, take a look at what the topic of the 2-hour session is, and then you would click on Join. There's also a SAP Connect meeting room link that you would use on the day and time of the session here. Now, you need to join each session separately, even though they're in a 5-day cluster. Okay, that's really important. Just joining the first day doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be automatically registered for all 5 days. So we have quite a few across all the different areas like professional services, procurement, foundations, finance, and so forth. You've got quite a variety. It's highly flexible. These live sessions repeat almost every month. So if you can only join like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of, let's say, procurement, February, you can finish off Thursday and Friday in March or April. That's how flexible it is. The topics are always the same, albeit depending on the month you join, it will cover any new innovations and highlights from quarterly releases. Like if you join the mid to late May sessions, it will already be inclusive of 1805 content and information. The expert running those sessions will give you that information, the latest information. Okay. Now, how do I find learning journeys once I'm for S/4HANA Cloud once I'm in the Learning Hub? The best way to do it is to go up to this navigation here, top left, and select Learning Journeys. It will render the Learning Journey user interface. Okay. Okay, there it is. We have several hundred learning journeys across all the different solutions. One of the best ways to find the S/4HANA Cloud journeys is basically to do a filter, to do a search. It automatically, wow, that, I don't know if you can see that, but even my typing is slowed down. Just type in S/4HANA Cloud or SAP S/4HANA Cloud, and you get all related journeys for S/4HANA Cloud. The LOB journeys, as well analytics, and the customer project teams. This is for key users if you are a customer, and for the IT professionals, you would select that one there. Once you click on a learning journey, inside the Learning Hub, it takes you to the actual journey scenarios. I always like to zoom out a little bit so I can see more of the journey in one glance, and then you start consuming the content. The first thing in every journey is to join the learning room, and you basically select it here. When you're inside the Learning Hub, these tiles, when you click on the enablement and the tiles and so forth, it takes you directly to it. For instance, if I want to do the modular e-learning for onboarding fundamentals, I basically click on the e-learning. It launches the actual content. You have to be logged in to either Professional Edition or the S/4HANA Cloud Solution Edition for this to happen. Otherwise, if you're coming in through Help Portal, it will not go into the Learning Hub for you, even if you have a subscription. Okay. I think that's
Vivaldo, there
pretty
was
much
a
all I
question from
have.
the audience, whether you could
Yeah.
repeat the steps on how you found the learning journeys.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Let's just say I'm back in my home screen, right? Because most of you, when you log into the Learning Hub, you're going to see this screen right here, which is the home base, if you will, for the Learning Hub. What you want to do is go back to this navigation, go up to this navigation in the top left corner. It's always in the top left, and just select Learning Journeys, right? Once you select Learning Journeys, it will render the Learning Journey user interface. Let's give it a couple of seconds. Okay, and here's the list of learning journeys. Obviously, there are so many of them. You want to filter down your list here so you can actually hone in on exactly what you want to learn. Let's just say, S/4HANA Cloud. Now, it's important that you include Cloud because there's also learning journeys for S/4HANA on-premise, and they are completely different. Once you filter through, it automatically, it's dynamic filtering, so it automatically reduces your list, and then you select, let's just say, finance. You want to focus on finance. These journeys will guide you. For instance, I'm in the finance LOB journey, but it will tell me that I need to start with the prerequisite onboarding fundamentals. So you're never left guessing what you need to do first and then next and so forth. Does that help?
Thank you, Vivaldo.
Thank you, Vivaldo. I'm conscious of time, so I will get you to wrap up. You're sharing your screen. I'll get you to wrap up, and and then I'll come back.
Okay, excellent. I think my screen is locking up. I think that's I've got just one more thing to show everyone. I'm going to go into the learning rooms, right? And okay, my system's not. One of the best ways to find the implementation learning room is to do a search for the implementation S/4HANA Cloud implementation learning room. Once you become a member of that room, it becomes part of your recently visited area. I just want to show one more area here, and it's the events navigation. Okay. Now, in the events navigation, you have all your available live sessions and details, right? What we do here as well, when a presenter does a live session within a quarter, we also upload the presentation slides. These live sessions are not recorded because they're supposed to be fresh every month, right? So we're not recording these live sessions, but we are repeating them month over month, right? And we are archiving the presentation slides for you to download. And so once you go into the learning room, make sure you visit the events navigation, not the calendar on the left side, but the events navigation to see first what is available in live sessions. We've got quite a few clusters, right? And then to pull down the presentation archives for that area. And I think I'm going to close there, Annette. I know we're 5 minutes over.
Thank you. I mean, really, really informative. And so with that, thank you, everybody who joined us today. And thank you, Vivaldo. Very interesting. And unfortunately, we did have a few issues with the technology.
Yeah.
I hope that didn't distract too much. So with that, thank you, everybody. We will send out the slides and the recording to the participants. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach us via our email. Thank you very much. I will close the call. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Annette.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vivaldo.
Thanks, Leila.